Well, good morning and welcome to a special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and we have special guests with us today. We have Stacey Boroff and also Bob Leach. Thank you so much for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Our interview today is presented by our friends at Classic Brands. We're going to talk today about some things involving the PACT ACT. So if you're not familiar with the PACT ACT, you're going to get familiar with it here shortly. Stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment right after this from Classic Brands.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
It is the PACT ACT, and we have Stacey Boroff with us from the Ross County Veterans Office, and also Bob Leach, who is the president of the Ross County Veterans Commission. We have talked a little bit about the Camp Lejeune bit, and we want to talk at some point in time about that, but we want to talk also about the PACT ACT, which before today I knew nothing about, but you are pretty well versed in it, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's start with talking about what your office does for veterans here in Ross County.
Okay, well, Dan, we'll go ahead and start out. First of all, we've got several entities in Ross County that deal with veterans, and a lot of our audience would possibly have some confusion about what those entities are. We'll start first with the Veterans Administration Hospital, which everybody is aware of. That is a separate Department of Veterans Affairs medical institution. Then we have the Ross County Veterans Service Office that is run by the Ross County Veterans Commissioners. And those commissioners, 5 commissioners, represent our veterans clubs in the area. And we are appointed by local judges to serve 5-year terms on this board. And specifically, that those commissioners are the guardians of funds that come from property taxes within Ross County that are used to benefit veterans. And we are also a liaison with the Department of Veterans Affairs. And then we also have our veterans clubs that are in town that a lot of people are familiar with. That would be the American Legion, the AMVETS, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Disabled American Veterans. Those are all private, nonprofit organizations that are designed to do activities for veterans, for the community, and provide places for the veterans to relax. But those are separate from these other entities that I talked about. And then finally, we've got some organizations in town, Veterans in Transition and things like that, Veterans Help Centers that are also nonprofit organizations that are designed to help veterans. Specifically, we're here today as representatives of the Veterans Commission and the Veterans Service Office to talk about this new legislation, the PACT ACT. So that's the background.
The PACT ACT, and Stacey, you're a veteran. Bob's a veteran as well.
Yes.
A lot of folks are starting to get information in the mail. They're seeing things on TV. Most of the TV commercials are lawyers who are trying to get their share of what benefits might be to the veteran. But your office is there to help avoid some of those pitfalls, so to speak.
Right. So at least one in every county is a veteran service officer, and we are trained to file claims for our veterans for free. We don't ask for any type of payment whatsoever, whereas when an attorney or a lawyer could take anywhere from a minimum of 20% up to 40% of the benefit that the veteran would get from filing the claim. So what I'm wanting to get the information out is that if you can't come to see me or my other veteran service officer in my office, Nikki Bolte, there is one in every county. So go see someone that is free, a veteran service. They are called a county veteran service officer, one in every county. If you need help finding yours, please call my office, 740-772-1600. We will help you find your veteran service officer, and you can go to them and they will file a claim for you. And then that way it's free. You don't have to have anyone and share your money with anyone, and it will all go to you.
Which is very important.
Very important. Very important. But the PACT Act is it's expanding the health care for our veterans. It's one step that the VA is going in the right direction to help our veterans get the benefits that they need.
The veterans, no matter what the case, wherever they serve, whether it be home or on the road overseas somewhere, they may have been exposed to something. And when you see it come to life-causing difficulties for them later in their life, this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to track this stuff down so they can get some help.
Right, and that's what the new application that recently changed is a big clue to this. There's a section on our application now where it's asking them specifically if they were ever exposed to any type of, and it's even asking like for any type of like a mold or asbestos or any other types of things, mustard gas, radiation. And then it even has something, a box type, where you can check mark other, and then they want you to specify. Then they are asking when you were exposed, and then where, and from what time to what time. So, and on these, you don't have to be completely specific, but you give them an approximate time frame. So just from past experience with the VA, this is leading me to believe that they are wanting, that they realize that there's more stuff out there maybe that our veterans were exposed to besides the stuff that they're currently acknowledging. So I'm asking every veteran, when you go to fill out these applications, if you're not for sure, go back and check and try to find something. The internet does have some good uses. Let's use it and try to find out what we were exposed to.
And I'd like to make it clear that we're talking about this applies to veterans of the Vietnam era, primarily service in Vietnam, but there were other places during that time that veterans served that they could have been exposed to harmful toxins. Also, the Gulf War and post 9/11 era. So that counts both Iraq, Afghanistan, any service in the Persian Gulf. But again, anywhere that a veteran might have served that they could have been exposed to toxins, we want to have them at least go in to our VA or our Veteran Service Office and fill out these forms to bring up the possibility that they might have been exposed to something that might relate to some kind of condition they have later in life.
It could be stateside. It could be on a ship. The Navy ships, they were using lead paint.
Right.
A lot of the times, and the asbestos was widely used. So,
and you need to get this documentation in place so that something can start to be done. The investigation, or like you mentioned, scanning can be done for these individuals.
Yes, the VA is very specific. If you go online and look at the va.gov website, they're wanting you to go to the medical health facilities like the Chillicothe VA to get a toxic screening done. And they want to advise you on what types of things that you need to look for and get screened for, probably at least on a yearly basis, so that you can catch it as soon as possible if you do get diagnosed with something. So hopefully they can help it.
And I appreciate you using screen. I was looking for screening. I said scan.
Yeah,
so,
screening.
But it is a screening, an opportunity to sit down and ask you a few questions or get like that form and make sure you check the boxes.
Yes, definitely.
Also, I'd like to just point out and make a plug for this. This is a slightly different topic, but the importance of any veteran taking your discharge paper, which would be the DD-214 is what it's called, the Department of Defense Form 214, to our local recorder's office or any recorder's office, and have that officially entered into the local government roster. The importance of that, and we've seen this many times when families come in for a veteran's funeral, a veteran's copy can get lost for any number of reasons, a move, a house fire, general clutter. And if it is recorded in the Ross County Veteran or the Ross County Recorder's Office, that is on file, and that even helps decades from now if somebody needs a copy of the service record, the discharge of a veteran that's passed away. So, and that's something that a veteran can go into the recorder's office and do anytime. So we want to put in a plug for doing that, even though that's not part of the process for filing for a claim for exposure to toxins under the PACT Act legislation.
And we're talking specifically here about Ross County, but it's not exclusive to Ross County. Any county in Ohio, or if you're watching this and you're in another state, make sure you get that recorded with your county recorder.
Definitely. There's always now Ohio, like I said, we have one veteran service officer, at least one in every single county in the state of Ohio. The other states in the United States, they have different things, but you can find veteran service representatives in other states also. They may not have one in every county, but they are there. Again, I suggest you go online. But if you need help, please call my office. We will help you. That's what we're here for. We don't care where you live. We want to help our veterans find the assistance that they need to file the claims that they need.
You served your country.
Yes.
We live in the country.
That's right.
We're taking care of each other.
Right.
In that respect.
They are our brothers and sisters, and we're going to help them no matter what.
Yeah. Hopefully you've paid attention to the scroller that's going across there. You'll find the web address and also the phone number for reaching the Ross County Service Center for the veterans. And speaking of which, if you want to walk into the office, where do I go? 475
Western Avenue, the Ross County Service Center.
Okay, so if you're used to going to the OSU Extension offices or the Pike Ross Education Service Center, all that is all housed right there.
Bureau of Motor Vehicles, yes. We're right there in the same building.
Very good. Is there anything we've missed you wanted to make sure we shared this morning?
We're also on Facebook, too.
Yes. By the way, we've tagged this with your Facebook page, so it should show up on your Facebook page too. So feel free to share this information. If you've got a veteran that is in your family, if you are a veteran, if your neighbor's a veteran, make sure they get this information because it's very important stuff. So thank you for stopping in today. Thank you for your service to our country as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you for your support.
I'm Dan Ramey. We'll be back again in just a matter of moments with our regular show, Litter Media Live. That's coming up in just a moment. Thanks again to Classic Brands for providing this opportunity to learn more about Veteran Services Office.